I've taken T4 for years and no relief in symptoms. Well, it doesn't matter. So when we look at thyroid physiology, your allopathic physician's usually looking at it from the thyroid gland down. Like the whole problem is the thyroid gland mysteriously just shut down function, and everything else downstream, transporting the thyroid hormone in the bloodstream, transporting the thyroid hormone into the cell, the conversion of T4 to T3, and T3 binding to receptors. The medical doctor's assuming that all of that works really well, and it's just this mysterious destruction of the thyroid gland. You just woke up one day and it doesn't work anymore. It's the way life goes, right? Or you had somebody radiate it out or cut it out. We want you to look at it differently. And this is a huge part about what we're talking about in the book. Most people start to have hypothyroid signs and symptoms long before they get diagnosed with the thyroid problem, long before their TSH even moves. If you didn't know this already, by the time your TSH is above lab reference range and your free T4 drops below the reference range and your diagnosis is overt primary hypothyroidism, you've lost more than 90% of the function of your thyroid gland. That's in the literature. That's in the research. That's not the beginning of a thyroid problem. That's the end of a thyroid problem. Okay. So how could you have hypothyroid signs and symptoms before that? Because two things regulate thyroid hormone. What we call the hypothalamus pituitary axis regulates how much the thyroid gland is producing. And then you have the peripheral tissues away from that area, like your liver, like your pancreas, like your muscles, that all the cells and all the tissues get to self-regulate for the most part how upregulated their metabolism is or downregulated their metabolism is. So if I'm a liver and I'm perceiving excessive stress, I can slow down the metabolism of the liver, but your GI tract can work fine, or your hypothalamus or your brain or another tissue can work fine. So every tissue has the ability to self-regulate its metabolism. But what we see is that when somebody has an infection in their gut, it's going to change your thyroid physiology in the start, definitely from the gut perspective, and eventually it's going to start to impact other tissues. So for sure, part of the reason why you take T4 and you don't see change is that your thyroid gland destruction probably wasn't the beginning of the problem. You have this cell stress response going on in the tissues, and your cells didn't want to convert T4 to T3 in the first place. And so you started getting more T4 to reverse T3 conversion, less T3 conversion. You started to feeling hypothyroid. The chronic stress response probably occurred for a longer and longer period of time. And eventually that resulted in thyroiditis or inflammation of your thyroid gland that results in the primary hypothyroidism. So this is one of those things that's like on a classic, like this person has tissue issues going on. When they take T4, they normalize TSH and they still don't feel good. Something's going on in your peripheral cells. You have the cell danger response going on, and that's why you don't feel good. Now, what do you do about it? Right? Well, one of the things that physicians will do is they'll keep giving you higher and higher doses of T4 and they'll keep driving your TSH lower, thinking if they can just drive that T4 high enough, the cells will get what they need. And the problem with that is TSH drives an enzyme called deiodinase 2. So when you suppress TSH, you have less deiodinase 2 activation, and that's the enzyme in your thyroid and in your cells that converts T4 to T3 inside the cells. Most of the T3 in the body isn't made by the thyroid gland, it's made by the tissues in the body. So if you suppress TSH too low, you're going to feel more hypothyroid. Now, there is a break point when you really exceed the amount of T4 the body needs. Then you have another enzyme called deiodinase 1 that'll kick in and try and help convert T4 to T3, and it will make your T3 look better, but you'll still be hypothyroid because that's not being made inside the cells. That deiodinase 1 is being made on the periphery of the cell, and it doesn't support the cell on the inside. So why would the body do that? Well, the half-life of T4 is 7 days, so we don't want T4 hanging around that long if we're overloaded. The half-life of T3 is 12 hours. So if we can convert T4 to T3 and then half-life is 12 hours, we can get rid of it much faster. So we kind of mitigate that hyperthyroid state a little bit faster. The other thing that happens is, and this is where I give functional and integrative medicine a hard time, is because a lot of people say, well, you're just a non-converter. You can't convert T4 to T3. Your free T3 is low. We're going to give you free T3 and it'll work better. Well, The blood might look better, but that doesn't mean what's going on in the cells and tissues is going to be better. You may get that honeymoon phase where you feel a little bit better. And then what I've seen happen is you need a stronger dose. You need a stronger dose, because what people fail to realize is that if there was enzymes in those cells under stress that were converting T4 to reverse T3 instead of T3, that same enzyme, deiodinase 3, converts T3 to T2. And some of the T2 supports mitochondria. The rest of the T2 does not work. It's like an inactive form. So you still got the same issues going. You haven't fixed the problem. You've greenwashed the whole thing because you've said, hey, look, the numbers look pretty, and yet you don't feel good.